Thanks for joining me, Danny.
Yeah.
I've been privileged to see you speak on a couple of occasions now. So for those people who haven't seen or heard of you, could you just introduce yourself and give us a general light on your background?
Predominantly, I've been a teacher since 1997, and I've been a teacher, started off with BTECs and A-levels in PE, and then sort of worked my way around that. And about 2003-04, started to work at university more, and started working a lot in sports coaching, sports psychology, performance, science and all this stuff. And I still work there to this day at the University of Central Lancashire.
So how's your life changed, and what are you doing presently in this climate?
Really, I've just been having more time on my own, finishing my PhD off. It's really about the beingness of living a life in sport every day. I've got quite fascinated between this existence that I was having and feeling, and then this academic type modelling that's came into fashion in the last 15, 20 years about all these topics that spring up: growth mindset, resilience, toughness, winning. So I was very interested in what that was doing to the psychology and the lived life of somebody who, everyone was laying it out like a roadmap. And I was living the life and working with a lot of athletes and not experiencing it as the same way they were telling me that, it should have been. And I could see a lot of absurdity in things. I could see where, for example, they would say, Laura is a really tough person from the outside, but on the inside, I knew she was tough and weak.
Just tell me how you obviously from that point of meeting Laura, and how you got involved with squash.
In terms of Laura, I just thought, why am I staying in Preston where we live when Laura's flying around the world? I should just be going with her and helping her achieve everything she wants to achieve. And to be fair, we did really well. Yeah, and it's a real sense of pride and pleasure now. And she's retired now, and in a way we both retired from that bit. She's helping loads of players. I'm helping quite a lot of players on the mental side, from the PSA, and doing a lot of local things. So squash has just been, just amazing for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that mental side and the resilience side all those things that you've learned up till now, what advice or tips have you got for players in these times of lockdown?
Again, I try to, even in, you might say, normal times or whatever, I try to say to players, like, I want you to really stick to things, but don't get stuck to them. Do something else as well. Like, you're not just, you surely aren't just your squash. Even if you're the world number one, surely you've got other things about you. I mean, wouldn't you like to know if people still liked you without your squash? Can you be humble in that situation? Can you go over there where you're out of your comfort zone and just fit in and relax when it's not about you? But essentially, if you go back, over centuries, and you listen to the philosophers and the Greeks and everybody, it was always this sense of, give it your best. It's a little bit meaningless in the grand picture of everything, but it means something to you. So give it everything, be passionate, get that enthusiasm for it. But if it isn't there, then you'll miss it, but only a bit. Don't collapse because it's not there. Surely you've got other things in the world. And I say that to parents as well when they go to tournaments with their kids. It's like it consumes the whole weekend, and this is where I think coaches are really important, and people around clubs. I think a lot of coaches, like nowadays, especially young coaches, they get very like, we need a session, we need to plan it. Even in lockdown, my advice to lockdown to a lot of the players I work with is, right, cash in, have some time off. I mean, you're going to be doing this for years, literally. Down tools, you're not going to get this opportunity. And obviously, their natural guilt kicks in, and there's a bit of, don't do it to the point where you lose all your fitness and things. But and I know everyone's different. Some are young, some have never had a career break for years. So every situation is different. But
there's that sort of hand-eye coordination, I guess, that you just haven't. It's nothing like getting on court, is there? As we all know. and that aggression. My 9-year-old daughter said that to me. She goes, "Oh, Daddy, I miss it," you know. And it's that sort of ability to go on and just whack a ball, even if it's on your own, you know, gets rid of some mental stress.
It's really good that she's got to the point where she's missing it, because then that shows her that she genuinely does love playing the game. It's not just because, you know, we all lose this child. You know, as a lot of professionals, it's something that they enjoyed when as a kid. They play it mainly intrinsically, just love it in a ball, love the rally feeling. And then, you know, they get into it. All it becomes is the winning, and the joy kind of goes away, and it's replaced by like a feeling of lack. I'm not there yet. So I can't enjoy it really until that happens. And then even when they get that, then they've got to protect it or move on again. Now they're in the England squad and they've got to get better, and they're on a plan, and they have a strength and conditioner and then a psychologist, and then they're paying more money for coaching. And everything becomes a means to an end. So this is hopefully a time where actually people rediscover the child within that just liked hitting a ball. And if you fancy going on outside on the back wall or whatever and doing 1,000 volleys a day, do it. But don't do it because you're panicking. You know, no one's eradicated squash off the face of the earth. It's going to come back. There's no rush. You know, and they will all start again. The tournaments will start one day, and then before you know it, everybody will be dramatic again. And, you know, I hate this, so I'm not good enough, and it'll all just be the same. You know, I was chatting with my dad the other night, and he said to me, he says, "I know what'll happen. I'll get out on the golf course. It's third hole. I'll put my drive in you know, out of bounds, and I'll be wanting to get off the course."
It's all too true. At that time now is to take that time out, as whether you're a player or coach, and use it, you know, to sort of really, I guess, you know, think about how you're going to approach the sport. I mean, where do you think will be the other side? I know it's a prediction, it's a guess, but, you know, for coaches and players, you know, where do you think? Is there crossover in other sport and things like that, or?
Squash is. I think every sport, every country, everything has its own unique. Like you're trying to stepping stone, aren't you, to get back and not. You know, you've got. It's like walking through a bit of a minefield, really, isn't it? Because you've got a few ideas where things are. So you've got to really look at your own club, your own players, your own self. You know, it'll all come down to tracing whether you've had it, whether you're immune, like. If me and Laura, we've been locked down, you know, 9 weeks or whatever, you know, because we did it early, we could go on a court now, we'd be fine.
What's one positive piece of general advice have you got for anybody out there?
If it's about feeling good, it's like, can I be a little bit better today in something? Can I make something a bit better about something I'm doing? You know, can I get a little bit fitter? Can I do another, you know, an extra something? Can I fix something? Can I clean something that needs cleaning? You know, is there a person that you might give a cuddle to in the house, or you might give a bit of extra time, or ring someone, a mate that makes you laugh, you know, and just, you know, an old mate or anybody, and just you think, well, that relationship's a little bit better because I did that. So I think that it's like, can you get up in the morning and think, I just want to make today in one area a bit better than it was the day before? And sometimes you do loads of them, and some days you only do one. But it's kind of I think that's just as a really general bit of advice. I find that's normally okay.
Danny, I've got to really thank you for your time. Really appreciate that, mate. Chat soon, yeah.
Okay.
Ciao.
Good, Baz. Bye.